You sent it to
Yeah, I sent it. Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom, Brother Naquam,
Brother Yardan.
coming back at you with these precepts and another Monday Night Fire. Giving, of course, all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Kwamalak Yahushua. Double honors to Salaki, bear with me. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in the truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming of Yahushua. Our hearty shalom to you mighty men that go out there and labor and do the work of the Most High, presenting your body as a living sacrifice, enduring all things for the elect's sake, pushing this truth and magnifying the ministry. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the men of the Lord that may not be out there as of yet on the highways and byways, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying, they're fasting, they're studying, they're being diligent and abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom to all of the Aquath out there, the sincere Aquath, the sisters of the Most High, who are holding it down in the households, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, reverencing their husbands, and being obedient to the covenant of the Most High God, that the word be not blasphemed. Right? We living in exciting times, man. Right? We're living in exciting times. This is an exciting time to be alive, man. There's so much prophecies unfolding. Let's go to Sirach 39:1 real quick. You got 1,000 prophecies unfolding, man. Right? You have this massive evictions about to take place. Right? This eviction bill just transpired or expired. So people are going to just be destitute out, homeless. You have vagabonds out there. You have about 13 days straight of blood moons in the sky, which is a sign of war, bloodshed, violence, and destruction. Right? You have so-called mandatory injections of the poison that they're giving to people, and you have people rebelling in France. You have people rebelling in Greece. Salakia, bear with me. Can you hear me? Yeah, you got people rebelling in France, Greece, Italy, England, Australia, floods and tsunamis in what is that? China, Germany, earthquakes in Babylon. You said what, King?
I was about to say it in Alaska. That triggered a
Yep.
tsunami.
Damn tsunami warning. So it's going down, man. This is an exciting time to be alive, right? And now you just had Israel, one of the ships being bombed by Iran. Now, Iran said Israel did it. It's a false flag. Israel said Iran did it. Hey, the Lord did it. The Lord is stirring up the spirits of these nations to get these wars started, man. It's always been talk. It's always been rumors. It's always been he said, they said, well, we didn't do it. They didn't do it. But now the Lord has this thing brewing up, man. So let's go to Sirach 39:1, Baba Kashah.
The book of Sirach. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you might have to be a little louder.
The book of Sirach, chapter 39, verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies.
And be what?
And be occupied in prophecies.
See that? If you're a wise man, if you're a man of the Most High, you're going to be giving your mind to prophecies. You're going to be occupied in prophecies. The majority of your time, you're studying and you're going over the breakdowns and the knowledge, you want to go into the prophecies. You want to be well-rounded, obviously, and be not ignorant even in small matters, pursuant to Sirach 5:15. But you also have to watch. You have to watch. You have to pay attention to global events. You have to constantly see what's going on a geopolitical level. You want to study diplomatic affairs. You want to study what's going on in so-called nature. You want to see how the Lord is dealing with the elements. And you want to be occupied in the prophecies. And the things that you observe, you link it up directly with the Bible. And that's what a wise man is going to do. You have people right now, when I said Israel got bombed, they're scratching their head trying to figure out what I'm talking about. Saying, I'm Israel. I'm still alive. You got it, King.
Hey, I brought that blood moon up in captivity. And guess what Esau said? Guess what Esau had the nerve to say?
What'd he say?
This man said, well, all the forest fires, when it goes into the atmosphere and the light bends from the sun, it creates this type of aurora. That's why the blood is moon, or the core or the metal inside the moon is rusting and whatnot. And I said, oh, yeah? So that affects the outside? And he said, yeah. And I said, and I just started laughing. I laughed in their face because that's why when the Lord comes, people gonna be like, I didn't know. I didn't know. Well, you was too busy trying to cover up prophecy with scientific facts.
Right.
Scientific facts.
Yeah, I heard about that. Even the sun, they said, well, that's the forest fire in Canada. The forest fire in Canada. Stop listening to these damn doubles, man. Let's go to John 8 and 44 real quick. Stop listening to these doubles. Like the brother beautifully said, they're trying to cover up prophecies and signs of the end of the world with scientific facts, which are not facts. How the hell is he said the moon is rusting from the inside out?
Yeah,
That's
actually.
madness, man. That is madness. It's rusty, so now the whole moon is red for 13 days. Stop. If you still listen to the so-called white man, you're not going to make it. I've never heard that one. Right? Let's get that real quick, King.
It's like I heard this from two separate Edomites on 2 different days. So their sources are not credible. This is all baloney. You know, Esau's the liar. But John 8 and 44.
Hey, well, yeah. Oh, go ahead, King.
No, you got it. I was saying that.
No, I was going to just link it up. He the father of lies, man. This devil makes up literally anything. And Jake, you just run with it. You just run with it. You don't question it. You don't link it up with the Bible. You don't believe the men of the Most High. You don't believe the prophecies. But as soon as the devil say, okay, the moon is rusty from the inside out, now it's dark red. Well, where is that at in the Bible? When did the Most High say the moon can get rusty? Right? Or the forest fires cause the sun to be dark red. I thought the sun was not, according to the so-called white man, 93 million miles away. You know? Or 300,000 kilometers, or whatever this devil put out there. So how's the forest fire going to affect the sun? So read that, King.
Shalom.
Shalom.
John chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
He's a liar and the father of it. That's plain. We don't have to do an in-depth breakdown on that and spend 30 minutes explaining that verse. It's plain, right? There is literally no truth in Esau. So any type of when you see the blood moons and the sun being dark red, and you see the chariots in the sky, and you see the earth opening up and earthquakes, and Esau, where the tectonic plate is rubbing because of erosion, and then when the wind blows, no, man, that's the Lord, man. The Lord is controlling the elements, man. The Lord has angels operating on the earth, you know?
Don't
so
want
we
to give no.
Oh, go ahead, King.
Said don't want to give no credit to the Lord. Don't want to give nothing to the Lord. Like the Lord don't control everything, like the saying Sirach 18:01. The whole world is in his hand.
Calm. I got a precept, right? And like the brothers is bringing out, man. Esau, the father of lies, man. Are you going to equate it to forest fires, right? You're going to equate it to this, in that 3,000 of year, the moon, it kind of does that, right? He always got the so-called answer to everything, man. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, right? And verse number 12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with a multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so, be thou shall be able to profit. If so, be thou mayest prevail. Thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels. Right? So all Jake want to do is trust in astrology. They want to trust in science. They want to trust in Esau. They want to trust on Google. Right? They want to trust in the weatherman. They want to trust in everything instead of reading the words of the Lord, man. Let now thy astrologers, the stargazers, right, and monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee. So if you trust in this society so much and everything Esau says, he has an answer for everything, and you understand that the blood moon and this and the red sun, it all means nothing, and you literally getting massaged and rocked to sleep by his philosophies, the Lord saying, let them save you, man. Trust in them then. It says, read it on. Stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. And all hell about to break loose, man. Brothers got it.
And that leads us into it, man. Going into the topic, right? The name of the video Israel being bombed, the dragons of Arabia, and World War III is here, man. And we got to cover these current events, right? Let's go to Psalms real quick, 102 and 6, man. We got to cover these things. Like we always say, we're like the spiritual news reporters, man. You know, you might turn on the news, it might say breaking news. We're live on set. So and so and so and so has just happened. You're trying to figure out where it is, and it's happening right there. And they're literally live on the scene, and that's our job. Hey, if we can go to the damn be where that ship is, we'll do the breakdown over there. We'll hop in the we don't have it, right? But we'll hop in the WFI jet. Not that we have one, but we'll hop in the jet and we'll travel over there. And if we had it, you'll know about it, right? But we'll hop in the jet and we'll travel to damn Israel. We'll walk on the ship and we'll start bringing out the precepts and say we're live on the scene. We'll travel to the great river Euphrates. We'll stick the measuring in there, see how it's drying up, and we say this thing, and we'll pull up Revelation 16. You know, but let's read that, King.
Psalms chapter 102, verse 6. I am like a pelican of this wilderness. I am like an owl of the desert. I watch and am as a sparrow alone upon the housetop.
See that? The Lord said, I watch, right? We're like birds that have the aerial view that can see all different types of things, man, right? Even certain falcons and hawks, they can see their prey about a mile away. Literally, man. You can read about that in Job chapter 39, about the eagle, how he beholdeth his prey afar off. So we're like the hawk and we're like the eagle upon the housetop. And the Lord said, what I tell you in secret, proclaim upon the housetop. So all of the mysteries, all of the understanding, all of the breakdowns, we get it through the Spirit. The Lord sups with us at the table, and we go on top of the housetop, and we proclaim it out loud, and we watch. We're watching for chariots. Hey, I was watching for the blood moon, man. I was hitting the refresh button, seeing if anybody was talking about it, send it in the group chat. Be damn 3 a.m, we up in the prophecies. 4 a.m, we going into breakdowns. You know, we have to constantly watch, lest the Lord find us sleeping. You got it, King.
I had a precept.
God.
You kind of already brought it out, but this is Matthew chapter 10, verse 27. And it reads, what I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light, and what ye hear in the ears, that preach ye upon the housetops. It's like the brother's saying, we gotta proclaim this to the world, man. Right? Like it's in Jeremiah 1 and 5 on down, we're prophets to the nations, man. So everybody got to hear about World War III, man. Right? We're shaking our hand in the gates of the nobles. So the low-level Edomites here, the Edomites on top, they going to hear it. The Jake going to hear, everybody going to hear that the servants of the Lord, like scripture say, when it's going to pass, then you should know the prophet was among you. Everybody going to know we've been on the highways and byways. We've been doing these live lessons. We've been doing the cold cuts, and we've been proclaiming World War, not just us, but even the elders before us, been proclaiming World War III. So when it comes to pass, they'll know, man, right, that the Lord's words are true. You got it, King.
Con, I got this precept too, man. To link up with that, it's the book of Acts, chapter 20 and verse 20. And how I kept back nothing that was profitable unto you, but I have shewed you and have taught you publicly and from house to house. So the apostles, man, they was going to house. They was out there in the public, right? You can't do this work, right, and be at home all day. You don't labor, right? Like the brother said, man, we spiritual watchmen and we report things, man. You understand? And we not at these physical places, but we get the news, we link it up with the prophecy, and we tell the people, man. And we proclaim it publicly, like the scriptures say, man. Don't you know a hell about to break loose, man? Right? Got the blood moons, red moons, World War III on a rise, right? Bombs is literally hitting the earth as we speak, famine. And you got locked up in Australia, right? From the you-know-what, man, that they pushing. Oh, hell breaking loose on the face of this earth. And brothers got to understand the times we living in, man. And brothers, if it's any time to labor, brother, now's the time to labor, man. Brothers got to be knocking off their sins, being aware of the times, and really be in this truth if you in this truth. You got it.
I was going to say, can you read verse 27 in that same chapter?
Con, no doubt. Verse 27. For I have not shunned to declare unto you all the counsel of Yahweh.
That's plain, right? He said, I wasn't shy about it. I told you everything. And we tell you everything. We don't have a secret breakdown we holding on to, and we're going to charge you for $200. You got brothers that are selling breakdowns for $200. You got one for $200, I think one for $100, one for damn $50, whatever the case may be. Right? We're going to hold on to this top secret breakdown until the day, and we're going to break it down to Yahweh Shah. Hey, it's going to be over, man. What do we hold on to? We're going to tell you everything that we get through the Spirit, man. Because if we don't tell you, the Lord said it's better for a man to hide his foolishness than for a man to hide his wisdom.
Right.
The Lord said in Job 15:8, hast thou heard the secret of God, and dost thou retain wisdom unto thyself? So any wisdom you get, you're supposed to declare it to the people, man. You got entire parables about that. You got it, Yardan.
I was going to just mention in Australia, it was reported that they had people in helicopters, riding around helicopters, and you had people with the microscope or whatever, not microscope, the glasses, kind of getting a good view of people, making sure they stay inside their houses. They had the tanks kind of, rolling through, make sure people stay in their houses.
And now,
just further proof to let Israel know all hell is breaking loose. We're about to enter into that, Lord willing, a second lockdown that hopefully kind of triggers something else. We like when bad things happen. You got to be a bad guy in society, righteously.
Con. Can brother see the screen?
Con.
Okay, Salakia. Yeah, you really got to be a rebel. You got to rebel against this kingdom, man, like the scriptures say. So, all right, you're looking on your screen. For those that do not know, this is from BBC News. We didn't make this up, right? We didn't create this website. We didn't go on GoDaddy.com and then link this up and get the server. We didn't do that, right? This is a credible source, BBC News, right? Tanker attack. This from 9 hours ago. UK, right? United Kingdom and US blame Iran for a deadly ship attack, right? So we have to go into it. This is the Mercer Street, which is the name of this ship, was attacked off the coast of Oman, and 2 on board were killed, right? So we're not going to read this entire thing, but just to let brothers know what's going on. It says the UK and US believe Iran was behind a tanker attack that killed 2 people and have vowed to respond, calling it a violation of international law. See that? So this is you got the United Kingdom, you got the United States, you got Israel, and they all blaming Iran for attacking this ship. And they said we vowed to respond. Right? So let's read on. And this is the beginning of World War III, man. Now the Lord can kind of have this thing die back down, that something else happen. But we praying. We are praying that this thing leads to World War III. Right? It says the MV Mercer Street, operated by an Israeli-owned firm, was attacked off Oman on Thursday. A British national and a Romanian citizen were killed. So this is heavy, man. They literally killed the guy. The statements came after Israel's Prime Minister Naftali, look at that madness, right? Naftali Bennett said there was evidence that its long-standing foe, Iran, was responsible. And they've always been beefing, man. Iran, the United States, Israel, Russia gets involved sometimes. They're always beefing. They're always butting heads, man. And you can read about these nations in biblical prophecy. You can read about Iran, right? You understand? Being Persia, right? You can read about the so-called Russians being the Medes prophetically. You can go into all these different prophecies, right? And we're going to go into these things. Mr. Bennett warned that we know how to send a message to Iran in our own way, while Tehran rejected what it called the baseless accusations. So pretty much, they said, look, we know how to get them back, man. So normally they might let this slide, they'll talk about it, but now it's looking like nobody's going to talk about it. They're going to respond. Rather they bomb them or rather they, whatever the case may be, right? It says, here's the point I wanted. On Monday, right? Today, Iran warned the UK, US, and Israel that any actions in response to the drone attack on the tanker, quote unquote, will be met with a severe and decisive answer. The attack on the MV Mercer Street appears to be the latest escalation in an undeclared shadow war between Israel and Iran. You see that? So there's already war going on, but it's not really public. It's like proxy attacks, little attack here, little attack there, but it's no full declared war by the government. But this thing is already happening, man. Let's go to the classic in Matthew 24 and verse 6. This thing is already happening, man. Why, Jake, you sitting around eating hot Cheetos? You got Eve taking hot Cheeto baths. I seen a video. Eve started a ride in the restaurant, twerking on tables. You know, you got Jake sitting around smoking a blunt right now, and World War III is happening.
Book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
See that? These are wars and rumors of wars, right? This is a rumor right now. He said, she said is a rumor. A rumor is something is no credible evidence, but it's gossip and word going out, right? We can go on in verse 7.
For nation shall rise against nation, and the kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places.
And you got all that going on. So it's going to go from rumors of wars to actual war going down. And this is not light. This is not something like a proxy attack, or this is an actual act of war. Bombing a ship. The Lord said 1/3 of the ships are going to be destroyed, man. You know? So these things are happening to show you that World War III is on the horizon. Right? If a brother got a precept, they can always bring it out. I'd love to touch on these points in this article. You got it, King.
The other brother said, man, these things, this is just the beginning. These things gonna happen in a major way. Man. Soon all hell gonna be breaking loose. Soon World War III gonna be at its peak and its height. And these are different rumors of wars. And the Lord, setting, basically it's like the Lord setting the pieces up, man. Right? If a brother play chess, you gotta set the pieces up. You don't just attack the king straight ahead. You gotta make the moves to make it happen. This is what's happening, man. This is Revelation chapter 8 and verse 8. And it reads, and the second angel sounded, and as it were a great multitude burning with fire was cast, it's like a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea. And the third part of the sea became blood. Right, that burning mountain is talking about ICBM missiles falling on the sea, which is the nations. This is point verse 9. And it says, and the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and the third part of the ships were destroyed. So all the ships, all your navy, your warships, right? Like the tanker, all that's gonna be destroyed. They're gonna be fighting in this thing, man. They're gonna hold them ocean, war in the ocean, man. Right? And they're gonna all be destroyed. Right. So when these trumpets blow, when these sails kick off in World War III at its peak, and we're seeing like a sneak peek of what's gonna come to pass. Right now, so like I had one more precept. Right, this is Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 45. And it reads, my people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord. And lest your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land. A rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that in another year shall come a rumor and violence in the land, and ruler against ruler. And that's what you see every year. Every year is multiple rumors, man. It's rumors all throughout the year. Every year they never stop, and every time it's a rumor, we gonna speak on it, man. Right? As servants, humbly speaking, as the servants of the Lord, we gonna go into the scriptures and break these things down. Right, and that's our job. And soon, rumors eventually come to pass. Eventually, it's not gonna be no more rumor. It's not gonna be a false alarm. It's not gonna die down. Soon, these plays are gonna hit the earth, and if you're not prepared, man, you're gonna deal with it, man.
And I want to touch on in a different book, the same thing that Yahushua saying, man. It's the book of Luke, chapter 21, right? And I'm gonna start at verse 9. But when ye shall hear of wars right, and commotions, be not terrified. So the Lord telling the saints, don't be terrified and hearing all of these things, man. You should really be rejoicing. You should understand that salvation draweth nigh, that brothers got to be on fire, that the Lord is spiritually shaking you, man, letting you know if you're not ready and you're going to get lost, man. It's not like the Lord, he didn't warn us, man. It's not like we don't have TVs. It's not like we don't have social media, man. It's not like we don't have cell phones. It's not like we can't get newspapers. It's not like we can't have access sources, man. Brothers are just lazy. And I'm led to believe those brothers that don't know what's going on, they don't care to know. Because if they wanted to know, you would know, man. It says what? For these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Then shall he say to them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places. That's the point I wanted, man. If you're not watching, it's earthquakes on a phenomenal rate on the earth right now, man. They're kicking off back to back to back to back, right? I just want to bring this up real fast. In Peru, right, July 30th, right, it was literally a 6.2 earthquake, right? You got in Gamiums, Sonora, Mexico, July 31st, that was a 5.5. You got in New Zealand, August 1st, you got a 5.6 earthquake, right? And then you got in Indonesia, right? Literally a 5.9. So these earthquakes been back to back to back on the face of the earth, man. Don't just think it has to be Babylon where you are in New York or in DC. Okay, I got to kind of take this thing seriously. Kind of grabbing on the dresser, right? Trying to get your apocrypha. No, these things are already happening all the way in different parts of the earth, man. And the Lord said in verse 11, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilence, and fearful sights, and great signs. So those great signs is seeing multiple blood moons back to back to back, man. Right? Brothers have seen these things back to back. Never in my life have I ever seen a blood moon come back to back for over a week straight, man. And the Lord is showing you, these are the great signs, man. It says, great signs shall there be from heaven. So the Lord's warning you once, yea, twice, yet man is not perceiving it, man. So brothers got to continue to watching this thing.
I'm going to get this quick precept. Well, first, here's the definition of a rumor, right? A currently circulating story or report of uncertain or doubtful truth, right? The example, they were investigating rumors of a massacre. But what's going on is the same thing, because they're saying, look, we don't know who bombed this ship. Maybe Israel did it, and it was a false flag just to go to war with Iran. Maybe Iran did it. Nobody knows who did it, right? So these are rumors of wars going on. I want to get this in Jeremiah chapter 49 and 14, right? Jeremiah 49 and 14. I have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her and rise up to the battle. So this is prophecy, man. You got spirits sent down on the other nations saying, rise up against Esau in battle. That's why Iran, they call America the great Satan, and they hate Israel, man. A lot of them countries hate them Amalekites, them ancient Philistines, the Palestinians, the Ishmaelites over there, the Elamites. They all have missiles aimed at the state of Israel and aimed at America. So you're living in Bible prophecy. The Lord said, gather ye together and come against her and rise up to the battle. And that's what's going on, man. That's why these nations are coming against these global powers. And all Israel do is oppress the people out there, man. You know, they rape, rob, and they're just like the modern day Edomites in America. That's their number one ally. If I'm not mistaken, America gives Israel about $3 billion a year for the military defense system, for weapons. You understand, for all types of damn strategy, bombs, bunkers, silos, technology. America is literally funding Israel $3 billion a year. You know? So these things are happening, man. Now, I want to read on this thing real quick, this last two parts. Right? It says, I'm gonna jump down. For months, there have been several attacks on both Israeli and Iranian operated vessels, which are seen as tit-for-tat incidents, though casualties are rare. Iran has also accused Israel of targeting its nuclear sites and scientists, right? In a statement on Sunday, the UK Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab said London believed Iran had used one or more drones against the MV Mercer Street, calling it, quote unquote, deliberate, targeted, and a clear violation of international law. You know, Iran must end such attacks, and vessels must be allowed to navigate freely. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said Washington was also confident that Iran conducted this and that an appropriate response would follow. Now, what does that mean? What is an appropriate response? Right? Is that them bombing one of their ships? Is that them dropping an ICBM missile? Is that them sending drones and destroying their damn infrastructure? What is this appropriate response that we have to look forward to, man? You know? Now everybody's talking, they're going to the United Nations, they're having meetings, they're setting up what to do, because we've been following this thing. So now that they're coming up with a plan on how to respond to Iran. So the world is on the edge of their seat. You got Jake worried about the Olympics. Is my team going to win a gold medal or are we going to go bronze? We don't care about the medals, man. We want to see this response, right? We want to keep seeing the blood moons in the sky like the brother was going into. We want to keep seeing the earthquakes, man. Right? Now, I also had this article real quick. Right? And this is all Bible prophecy. Right? This is from Reuters.com. This is another good site for brothers that watch. Right? You should go into this site. This is another beautiful site on news, man. Outside of your local Fox News. U.S. Britain believe Iran attacked Israeli managed tanker off Oman, right? It says the United States and Britain said on Sunday they believe Iran carried out an attack on an Israeli managed petroleum product tanker off the coast of Oman on Thursday that killed a Briton and a Romanian, both pledging to work with partners to respond. Right? Iran earlier on Sunday denied it was involved in the incident after it was blamed by Israel. Upon review of the available information, we are confident that Iran conducted this attack, which killed 2 innocent people using one-way explosives, UAVs, right? Which is a drone, an unmanned, I believe that's an unmanned aerial vehicle. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said there was no justification for the attack. Inside the region and beyond on an appropriate response, which will be forthcoming. So that's what we have to look forward to, man. We have this to expect war in a so-called Middle East, man. And this is and Iran, they have allies. Iran has Russia, they have China. So if they get in war with Iran, then those countries are going to get involved. And if Israel gets involved, then guess what? The United States and the UK and France and Germany and Spain, they're going to get involved. And you can have World War III happen overnight, man. Just like that, it can happen overnight. Right? Let's go to the book of Jeremiah. Right, Salakia. Actually, let's go to 2nd Ezra. We're going to open up 2nd Ezra. We're going to pull the article back up. Right? But we're going to go into it, man. Let's go to 2nd Ezra, chapter 15. Right? Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 15, dealing with the so-called dragons of Arabia. So these are exciting times, man. This is what we look forward to, man. We literally pop popcorn for stuff like this. You know? You're sitting on the edge of your seat, damn, eating a damn kettle corn. You know, you're hitting every fresh button. You know? Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and 27. Y'all done trying to read that, Baba Gashar?
And this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 27. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them, for God shall not deliver
Is it
you.
me? Can y'all hear Yaradan?
Con, I can hear him.
My sound might be tripping.
I'm gonna try again. It's 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 27. Can you hear me? I'm gonna read it again. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 27. Now it's like for now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them, for God shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him. Behold, an horrible vision and appearance thereof from the east, right? Right now we're in the west, right? According to prophecy and being in Babylon or Egypt 2.0, we will be on the west, right? That's why a lot of people say our people have a westernized mentality, right? People over there, the Arabs, it's like the Ishmaelites, the Amalekites, they over there on the east, right? And this is a horrible vision that pertains to them. All hell's gonna break loose over there. And we slowly but surely seeing that happening. All right. We just went over the news and the sources and the evidence. You got missiles, you got bombs. They've been bombing each other for a few days straight, a couple of weeks ago. We didn't forget that. That's nothing to be kind of swept under the rug. All right. All of that still pertains to this. This is a horrible vision. This is something horrible to see. Imagine being in Ezra's time when they're not really tech savvy and they don't know what an ICBM missile is and things of that nature. Imagine him seeing all of that. That's a horrible vision.
Right. And let me say this same vision that Ezra saw is what John the Revelator saw. John saw the kings of the east, man. He saw the exact same thing. This vision from the east is speaking about the other nations that are out there in the eastern hemisphere, the enemies of America. That's what he's looking at. How can we say it's a nice vision? Well, that's a good thing to see because he saw World War III, Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, even Saudi Arabia. They're going to get involved. Right now, they're kind of allies with Babylon, but then they're going to kind of join forces and join them Ishmaelite nations and Elamite nations. Right? We can read on.
Verse 29. Where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble.
So it says the nations of the dragons of Arabia, meaning a group of countries, not just one nation, right? You have a group of countries that are allies that have a common goal and a common enemy. They're going to join forces and be one side against the other side. Like in World War I, right? You had Russia, you had America, you had England, you had France, and they fought against Germany and Austria and Hungary. Then in World War II, you had America, you had Russia, you had England, you had France, and they fought against Germany, Italy, and Japan. Right? And the scholars even call that the Allies against the Axis powers. Right? Those same spirits are coming back for World War III. You're going to have the nations of the dragons of Arabia and the kings of the east against the 10 horns. And the 10 horns and the beast. You know? Who are the 10? Oh, go ahead, King.
I got a quick precept.
Come.
Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. And it reads, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears, let the weak say I am strong. So these different weak nations, they saying, look, we strong now, man. Right it's like what it say, verse 10 said, beat your plowshares into swords. That means, no more damn in the damn farm using your farming instruments and things like that. Now it's time to pick up a gun, man, a machine gun. Now it's time to know how to use ICBM missiles. Now it's time to learn how to be a threat in this thing, man. Right? How to your science, now it's time to have nuclear scientists, man. Right? And go to war and rise up against Babylon and Great. Now it's time to get in that thing, get in the battle, man. Right? So I'm gonna keep reading. It says, verse 11: Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be weakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Right, and that's so like we keep reading on. So it speak on the valley of Jehoshaphat, like the brother mentioned in Revelation, the 16th chapter, man. Right, so that war is gonna be with like brother said, the kings of the east, right? The like I said in Jeremiah, the North Country, right? China, Iraq, Iran, Russia, right? So it's all the same thing. All the prophets, that's why you need multiple accounts. All the prophets speaking on the same thing, and it's World War III, right? It's one of the biggest prophecies. That's why it's a must that brothers go into this thing, man, and that brothers be watching.
Con. And quick point, when the Lord said, let the weak say I am strong, it's also talking about this. You got proposed legislation would require women to register for the draft. So now women, they got women are going to get drafted for the war, man. You know? So a lot of you women, I'm not fighting, I'm not moving. You better learn how to shoot a damn AR-15 and a damn AK-47 and hold that rocket launcher right above your shoulder and get ready for that kickback when that damn RPG go off and bite that thing off the grenade and know how to throw it, man. Because even women, you're going to get in World War III too. You weak nations, a lot of women going to be in World War III. And if you're not part of elect, you're going to get caught in that draft. They're going to call your name. They're going to do the roll call. They're going to say, Tyrone Jones. Tyrone Jones is going to have to put that blunt down, and he going to be in the damn Middle East in the damn sand getting shot up by Ishmaelites, man. So if you're not on fire, you're going to be drafted to World War III, and you're going to be caught out there. Learning how to detonate a damn bomb, you're going to pull a wrong wire, and you in the spirit world. You know?
Con, let me bring this up. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 46, and verse number 7. Say, who is this that cometh up as a flood, whose waters are moved as the rivers? And that's what these nations do, man. They come up like a whole flood, man. They utterly evade. And when a flood come up, it's not all subtle and all small, and then it kind of dripping. A flood utterly devours something, man. When this thing actually kick off, and all of these nations set them faces against one another, man, it's going to be like a flood, man. Everything is going down, man. You can't look back and say, I wish it was the days of you know what, where I could go into the store without wearing a mask. I want to go back to this day. I want to go back to that day. Now we got to look forward, man. It's nothing to look back, man. You're not going to be able to go to the store anymore and it be like it was 2 years ago. This whole economy, right, Babylon the Great, everything is going down, man. And brothers got to haste to the end of this thing and be ready and prepared. Egypt riseth up like a flood, and his waters are moved like the rivers. And he saith, I will go up and I will cover the earth. I will destroy the city and the inhabitants thereof, man. And so-called America doing all of these trades, these alliances with all of these different nations, man. They going up as a flood and they're going to utterly be destroyed, man. It says, come up, ye horses. And the modern day horses are these tanks, man. All of this military warfare. Everything that these men are going to be moving in. They're going to have the RPGs, right? They're going to have all of the missiles. They're going to have the grenades, the bombs, the tanks. Come up, ye horses, and raging chariots, and let the mighty men come forth, the Ethiopians and the Liberians that handle the shield, and the Lydians and handle and bend the bow. For this is the day that the Lord God of hosts, a day of vengeance, that he may avenge him of his adversaries, and the sword shall devour, and it shall be a statue, and made drunk with their blood. For the Lord God of hosts have a sacrifice in the north country by the river Euphrates. So the Lord said he got a sacrifice ready, man. And that's not talking about a lamb and a bullock, man. These nations going down. These rivers coming in, they're going to utterly be dismantled and destroyed. So brothers got to hasten to the end and understand the Lord said he got a sacrifice in the north country by the river Euphrates. And where is that kicking off, man? That the brother brought out in Joel, the 3rd chapter. All hell gonna be breaking down in the valley of Jehoshaphat. And then literally that river's drying up right now. If you can't understand by the river drying up, these earthquakes, these bombs, and everything at a vast rate, and you may not be the elect, man.
God, I want to we're gonna get into this too, man. The brothers going into the weapons, 7 weapons that could get Russia and edge in World War III. Why is everybody talking about World War III? Why do you have articles about weapons, man? Because the brother just went into it, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. You know, everybody's going into World War III, and we're not going to leave no stone unturned. Let's go to I'm gonna read Joel 2 and 19. I'm gonna read 18. This Joel 2 and 18. Then would the land, it's like, then would the Lord be jealous for his land and pity his people? Right, Joel 2 and 19. Yeah, the Lord will answer and say unto his people, behold, I will send you corn and wine and oil, and you should be satisfied therewith, and I will no more make your reproach among the heathen. But I will remove far off from you the northern army. Who's the northern army? The army of Babylon the Great. The Lord's going to remove the northern army, right? And will drive home into a land barren and desolate. What land is that? The desert land of the so-called Middle East, right? With his face toward the East Sea, right? That's the Dead Sea. And his hinder part toward the utmost sea, right? Which is the Mediterranean. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he had done great things. So the Lord speaks about taking these Edomites and moving them in the so-called Middle East. You got Biden saying we want to get can brothers hear me?
It was going out for a second, but it's good now.
Okay, you got brothers saying or Biden saying Afghanistan, we're going to pull all the troops out the Middle East. No more troops. No, they're going to stay there, man. Right now, I want to pull this up real quick so I can bear with me. This is a map of the allies, right? Or the map of the so-called Middle East. And then I have something else I want to get into, right? So this goes on. Let's read that. Let's go back to 2nd Ezra 15, and let's read 29 one more time.
2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 29. Where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that they, it's like that all they which hear them may fear and tremble.
So your dragons of Arabia, you got Syria, Iraq, you got the UAE, your United Arab Emirates, and this where the ship was bombed off of Oman, right? If brothers trying to figure out where's Oman, they keep saying that the ship was bombed. It happened off the coast of Oman. You got Yemen, Afghanistan, Pakistan, right? Let's go to Revelation real quick, chapter 16, and let's read 12. Revelation 16 and 12.
The book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 12. And it reads, and the 6th angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared.
See that? So the great river Euphrates is right here, right? You can see this border right here, and it's being dried up right now. The Lord has angels manipulating the elements, drying up the water. You can even look that up. You can type in, right? Euphrates River, right? Salakia, drying up, and you'll see it, man. The Lord has angels, Salakia, drying up the great river Euphrates, right? The Euphrates River is drying up, strangled by the water policies of Iraqi's neighbors, Turkey and Syria, a 2-year drought, and years of misuse by Iraq and its farmers. The river is significantly smaller than it was just a few years ago. See that? Along the river, rice and wheat fields have turned to baked dirt. So you got people saying the white man wrote the Bible. We dealt with a scoffer last camp. Show me who wrote the Bible. Where's the original Bible? You damn fool. If you read the Bible, then you would know. People who say the so-called white man wrote the Bible, they never read it. Oh, that's the white man's book. Man wrote that. We're literally looking at Revelation 16. Look at the Euphrates River drying up. It didn't look like this during the time of Nebuchadnezzar. Right? It didn't look like this during the time of Cyrus the Great and Ezra and Nehemiah. The great river Euphrates is drying up. Look at this madness. Let's read that again. Revelation 16 and 12.
Revelation chapter 16, verse 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared.
Why is it dried up? That the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. So now when World War III kicks off, these countries that we just pulled up, right? Iraq, you understand, Afghanistan, Pakistan, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, all these countries, Azerbaijan, Uzbekistan, when they send their tanks and troops over here, they don't have to worry about, well, how are we going to cross this river? It's too much. Maybe we should send paratroopers. Everybody's going to have easy access to cross the great river Euphrates to conduct war in the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is in this region right here. You see that? So the Lord is like the brother went into the Most High's playing chess. He's drying up the river right now that these other nations can leave their land, send their tanks, damn land vehicles, Humvees, soldiers, and march straight across the river like we went through the Red Sea and come straight into this land and die by Hamashiach Yahushua in the battle of Armageddon. I know brothers got a precept.
Con, I got one. Right?
Con.
And like the brother going into, man, hey, that's literally happening right now. So brothers got to be watching and understanding that. And that's a strange thing, and that's unusual. You can't just be like, well, you know what? This big old landmass, this big old river is drying up for no reason, man. The Lord doing miracles in the last days. Stop thinking you need to see an angel come down. He give you an old book. He blow the dust off of it and open it up and you see your name in it, man. The Lord's doing strange wonders, signs, seeing the blood moves, the earthquakes, right? Everything is right before your eyes, man. You have to open your eyes and really see what's going on in the earth. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, and verse number 21. For the Lord shall rise up in Mount Perazim. He shall be wroth in the valley of Gibeon, and he may do his work, his strange work, and bring to pass his strange act. His strange act. It said plain upon tables, the Lord's going to be doing a strange act, man. It's a strange thing to see a whole river dry up, man, in the middle of nowhere. Nobody's doing anything. Nobody's touching it. It's not a chemical spill, right? Esau didn't put his hand in it. Ain't nothing going on, but yet it's drying up, man. These are the miracles that the Lord is leaving you through prophecy in the scripture to let you know what's going on in the last days, man. The Lord said that he may do his work, right? And that work is moving all of these spirits around, right? Having all of these things kick off, these prime ministers, all of these men, these presidents in these foreign countries. These things are coming to pass. And it says, his strange act, he will bring it to pass. So brothers got to be watching and understand, man, the Lord is doing this thing on the earth right now. And brothers got to be writing these things down and linking them up with prophecy. Don't just say, oh, that's crazy. That's strange. Oh, I didn't know that. You should be the first thing you should ask yourself when you see these things is, where can I find this in the scriptures? How can I link this up? Because these things aren't just happening just because. Where can I find a damn earthquake at? Where can I find the so-called Middle East being in the uproar? Where can I find America's downfall? Where can I find these things and be occupied in prophecy?
See that?
I got.
Oh, go ahead.
I got a precept. This is Revelation chapter 9 and verse Outside 14, Revelation 9 and 14, saying to the sixth angel, which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. Right? So, like brother went to, you got angels in there, and these angels got a job to do. All
Right.
all the angels have jobs, man. They're not just, little Edomite babies with wings just flying around heaven, just all out of order, man. Right? These angels have jobs, and these angels, and we know four is just a number of completion, man. Right? So it might be millions of damn angels in the river Euphrates, drying that thing up, man, drying it up, so that these the kings of the east might be prepared, man, because the river is in the way. So the Lord got to make sure that grape, and it's great. It's not called grape for no reason, right? The brother showed you pictures, look dried up. At one point, that was a great river, man. That was a great river Euphrates, and now it's dried up. You can't blame it. A carnal man would say, "Oh, it's just because of the farmers." I think it's because of the farmers, and they didn't deal with it the right way. The farmers know what they're doing. Hey, the Lord might put spirits on the damn farmers. Hey, to dry that thing up, to dry it up and cause that thing to get dried up so war can happen, man. Let me get another precept. This is John chapter 13 and verse 19. John 13 and 19. Now I tell you before it come, that when it come to pass, ye may believe that I am he. Right? So we believe. Like I said, the white man didn't write the book. We know the book is true because it speak of things, because of prophecy. It speak of things before they come to pass. So when it come to pass, when you see a great river Euphrates dried up, oh, this Bible must be true. I know John the Revelator already spoke on that, man. So it shouldn't be news to you that the great river Euphrates is drying up. It should just be just a matter of time as to when these prophecies are going to happen. World War III shouldn't be big news because 2/3 of our people, World War III going to pop off and they're not going to know what's going on.
Right.
And where this come from? We didn't even know China had issues with us. Before I came into the truth, I never heard of World War III or America and China or Russia, Iraq. I never heard of none of that. So a lot of our people it's going to come like a thief in the night, man. But to those that's watching, we're going to be prepared, right? We're going to be prepared for these things, man, spiritually.
Huh. Hey, did you read 9 and 15?
I was like, I can bring it out.
Come on. I'll read. I'm right there. I'll read 9 and 15. It says, and the four angels were loosed, and you're not going to see them. Let me make that point. First of all, they're not bound because they went off. You got people saying, well, why they get locked up? Those must have been. No, the Lord just put them down there, and he loosed them for a period of time. Like the Lord put our spirits in this fleshly body until we're loosed. And you're not going to see them. I heard these brothers say that the angels are drying up the river. You're looking out there, you're seeing that they're making a dam and they got a shovel. You're not going to see it. It's happening in the spirit, right? You don't see the angels, but they're moving in the spirit, So it says, and the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year for to slay the third part of men. So those angels are stirring up the elements and drying the water. Why? So the missiles can be shot forth and destroy the earth. That's the third part of men. The third part of men is dealing with a certain amount of men who are set up to be destroyed by the plagues coming on the earth. Now, I want to get this as well. This is right. This is a map of whose allies as of now, right, and who's not allies with America, and the 10 horns. Because remember, the major powers, you got the 10 horns and you got the kings of the east, right, or the dragons of Arabia, and you got the 10 horns and the beast. But eventually, the 10 horns are going to turn against the beast. Right? Let's go to Revelation 17 and 16 for those who don't know who the 10 horns are. Right? Let's go to Revelation 17 and 16.
Book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 16. And it reads, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire.
So your 10 horns prophetically is dealing with the European Union, right? You had originally 10 countries that were part of the European Union or the European Economic Committee after World War II, right? You had Greece, Spain. So like you had Greece, Spain, Ireland, Denmark, Germany, Italy, France, Luxembourg, the United Kingdom, and Denmark. Right? If I didn't say that already, you had these original 10, but since then it's expanded to over 20 countries. Right? And if you want to go into more history or the European Union, you can always go into it and dive into the countries and what countries were added and what year they were added. So these are the 10 horns, but eventually they're going to break off from the whore America. Because right now, England and the UK, they're with America, but things are going to happen on a diplomatic level where they're going to cut ties with America. But I want to get the next verse. Let's read on in verse 17.
Verse 17. For God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdoms unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled.
Read that again, Baba Gashar.
Revelation chapter 17, verse 17. For God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will.
Hold on, Slaki. See, the Most High, he's stirring up the nations. It's not because they hate each other or they don't want to use their currency or the oil is too strong in this country. It says, for the Most High have put in their hearts. That's Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So the Lord is controlling what's his guy, Naphtali from Israel. He's controlling the man of Israel. Of Iran. He's controlling Biden. He's controlling the elites. He's controlling the prime minister of England and in the UK. He's controlling Kim Jong-un, Vladimir Putin. The Most High put it in the heart of these different leaders of the European Union to pledge their allegiance to America. That's what it means in verse 17. For the Most High put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree, meaning have a diplomacy and be allies and give their kingdom unto the beast. So the European Union is its own kingdom, but they're pledging that and giving it to America, the beast, until the words of the Most High should be fulfilled. Right? So you have the kings of the east, which we're going into now, and you have the 10 horns with the beast. So if you're looking on this map right here, the countries in orange are pro-Iran. These are Iran's allies. Iran, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon. You understand? I believe the United Arab Emirates, Russia. You don't see them on this map. China. They're all allies of Iran. Now you have the blue countries, which are pro-U.S. Israel. You understand? Saudi Arabia. And you have other countries in this thing too. But eventually, Saudi Arabia, we're going to read in prophecy, they're going to turn ties and cut ties with America and join Iran and Iraq. That's what we read about the dragons of Arabia. These are your countries of the dragons of Arabia. And no, Esau is not the Arabs because they're called East Saudi Arabia. All right? These are your allied countries in the last days. Iraq, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Pakistan, Afghanistan. God calls them the dragons of Arabia or the kings of the East. So let's go back to 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and let's read 30.
2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 30. Also the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians.
Right? So it says also the Carmanians. Now, who are the Carmanians? The Carmanians are literally the people of Iran. Right? It was literally a particular tribe or people group that lived in Iran. So when it says the Carmanians raging in wrath should go forth as the wild boars of the wood. Right? Now you're looking on your map right here. This is the Persian Empire during the time of Cyrus the Great. Right? From India all the way to Ethiopia, south of Egypt. But you can see the different provinces. You see Assyria, Armenia, Cappadocia, Parthia. You also see what? Persepolis and Carmania. Carmania. So if you look up where Carmania is, this is an ancient province of the Medo-Persian Empire. But now, if you look on the map, Carmania, where it's at, let's check it out. It's modern day Iran, right? It's literally modern day Iran. If you saw where Carmania was, it's modern day Iran. Let's show that again, right? You see Carmania right here on the map. See how it is with the Persian Gulf, right? Northeast of the Persian Gulf. And then you show again, modern day Carmania is Iran. See that? So Iran has a name. You're not going to find the word Iran in the Bible, or Russia, America, Japan, China. The Lord has given it different code names, you know? So let's go back to 2nd Ezra chapter 15. Let's read 30 again.
The book of 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 30. Also the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild beast, like as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come, and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians.
So the Carmanians are going to link up with the other dragons of Arabia. So that's why you have Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Oman, the UAE, Yemen, Afghanistan, Pakistan, because eventually all these countries are going to cut ties with America. Even the European Union, they're going to cut ties with America. I believe I'm going to get the exact precept. We're going to go to Jeremiah 50 and 51. You read about all of the different nations that aim the missiles at America, right? So the Carmanians are going to link forces with the other kings of the East, and they're going to destroy a portion of the Assyrians. So World War III is going to be kicking off in the Middle East, right? So let's go on.
Verse 31. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. And if they shall return themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them.
Right? Then, Slaki, read that again.
2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 31. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature.
Yeah, let's go to Genesis chapter 16. Right? What does it mean? Then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature? Because the dragons are the Ishmaelites, and the Ishmaelites are wild men. Right? Let's get that in Genesis chapter 16. Because eventually, a lot of these, what it's saying, a lot of these Arabs are drunk. Some of them are drunk. Some of them still wear suits and ties. When they do diplomatic meetings, they shake hands with the so-called white man. They take off their garment. But now when World War III kick off, they're going to take off that damn suit and tie. They're going to stop speaking that English. You understand? They're going to put their big-ass turban back on. And they're going to remember, hold on. They're going to sober up, hold on. They're the Edomites. We're the Ishmaelites. Right? So let's get that in Genesis 16. I believe we want 12. Let's start at 11.
Genesis chapter 16, verse 11. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art a wild, like thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction.
Right? That's what the Lord told Hagar. Go on.
And he will be a wild man.
No, he's going to be cool.
And he will be a wild man.
No, he'll be mild-mannered.
He will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren.
You can't make this up, man. He literally dwells amongst all the other Ishmaelites. That's when you go to the Middle East, you don't see Chinese people there. Then you got Japanese. Then we're there, right? We got our own thing going on. Then you got the Canadians there. Now that whole region is all the brethren, all the Ishmaelites. And he's a wild man. They stone people out there. They're throwing acid on women. They're hanging women for wearing pants. You know? They damn eat people. They're wild out there, man. And every hand is against these so-called Arabs, man. If an Arab walk in a room and say Allahu Akbar, everybody's going to fight him. They're going to want to put hands on him, man. And they hate everybody too. Because one thing about these Ishmaelites is a lot of them, some of them are drunk, but a lot of them, they still have that ancient mind frame. They still have are shepherds. They live in the mountains. They still go to wells and pull the water out the wells. They don't have cell phones, SIM cards. They don't have clubs. They don't have a McDonald's. A lot of them still have that same mind frame from the time of Abraham. And they wild, right? Now, I wanted to get that in the Hebrew, or that word wild in the Hebrew, when the Lord said he'll be a wild man. So if you have a concordance, keeping it plain, is H6501. When it says a wild man, it says running wild like a wild ass, swiftness, wild ass of a man, a free nomad. And a lot of those guys are nomads too, man. They're traveling across the desert countries with their camels. You understand? They're setting up their tents in the middle of the Sahara Desert. So they're like a wild ass. The Lord speaks about the wild ass in the book of Job, kind of just traveling. And they wild, and they'll blow themselves up. You got it, Yardan.
I was just gonna say these. Yeah, I was just gonna line back off what you said. Moving in the desert, the camels, that curve, crescent sword. You know, the turban up there. Turban is
Yeah.
big. You know, breaking their neck. So, you know, that's
Yeah.
their nature.
Khan and Salakia, right? Going into what the brothers is going into, man. They wild, man. Right? Don't have no sense. Right? They like wild animals. Right? Hold on, Salakia, bear with me. This a video of their nature right here. See that?
Wow.
Madness, man. Madness. Just a bunch
Wow.
of screaming and yelling. Right, damn guns in the air. Damn screaming
Yeah.
with their tongues
Yeah.
out, man.
Yeah.
That's a wild man.
Yeah. Hey, they'll chop your head off, man. They behead people out there. A lot of you Eves and Jake, you couldn't last a day out there, man. Even got some damn acid thrown in her face, man, and messed up her weed. And Jake, you can't last out there. Why I gotta deal with the cattle? I gotta go to the well. Whatever damn boss water at, or the damn Fiji water. You couldn't last a day out there with them Ishmaelites, man. You know, they got damn guns. They shooting the damn guns in the air, screaming, and they got a bomb. They put kids. They ask the kid, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" I want to blow up America. Right? They fighting. Even the kids fighting. Who gonna strap the bomb to their chest? You know, and they don't mess around, man. So how is the Bible a book of fairy tales? Who else is the wild man? Who else could be the Ishmaelites? Now people saying we don't know who the Edomites are. We don't know who else is the wild man. You know, let's read on in Genesis 16 real quick.
Genesis chapter 16, verse 13. And she called the name of the Lord that spake unto her, Thou God seest me. For she said, Have I also here looked after him that seeth me?
Right. Now let's go to Genesis 25. Let's go to Genesis 25 and 12. Salaki. Genesis 25 and 12.
The book of Genesis chapter 25, verse 12. Now these are the generations of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's handmaid, bare unto Abraham. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael, by their names according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Neboah, and Kedar, and Abdel, and Mibsam, and Mishma, and Duma, and Masa, Hadar, and Timah, Jutar, Napish, and Kedmiah.
Now, all of
These,
these, it's like all these Ishmaelites that you see, whether you're from Saudi Arabia or Iran, you're one of the descendants of these guys right here. These are their forefathers, right? And they were all wild men. Let's read on.
and these are the years of the life of Ishmael,
No,
and
verse
a hundred
16.
over
Baba Kashar.
16 Slakia. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names, by their towns and by their castles, 12 princes according to their nations.
Right? 12 princes according to their nation. So they was a great nation. That's why they have all those different lands over there. Have all the oil fields, have all of the natural resources. It's this Bible prophecy about these dragons of Arabia remembering their nature, that they're royalty, that they're now you might see these Arabs in the gas station. You got a damn fitted cap on, gonna be smoking a blunt. Eve might walk in there, so they might turn into a, try to be a Jake. I seen Arabs that sag, man.
Yep.
Kind of sagging their pants. They're getting their beard. You got damn DJ Khaled. Isn't he an Ishmaelite? You know? And he think he's a Jake. But a lot of them Arabs in that land are going to remember their nature and remember that they're wild men and that they have a perpetual a spirit to go against every man. That's what Second Ezra is talking about. So let's go back to Second Ezra chapter 15 and 31 again. Second Ezra 15 and 31.
Second
So
Ezra,
you can't make this stuff up. You got it.
chapter 15, verse 31. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them.
So World War III is going to be kicking off, but then the battle's going to turn where the Ishmaelites are going to have the upper hand. It's going to seem as though they're going to win World War III. Right? Go on.
Then these shall be troubled, and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemies besiege them, and consume some of them. And in their host shall be fear, and dread, and strife among their kings.
Because a lot of these other nations, like these Edomites, they got military bases out there, and they're going to attack a lot of these dragons of Arabia, and the battle's going to be going back and forth. That's why it says, then from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them, meaning the enemies of the dragons of Arabia and the enemies of the kings of the east, and consume some of them, right? And in their host, meaning in the Arabs' army, shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. So they're going to have the upper hand for a minute till their enemies come and kind of take down some of their drones, fighter jets, tankers. So it's going to be a back and forth battle. That's what the Lord is saying, man. It's going to be Esau against Ishmael. And there was a time when Esau and Ishmael was friends, man. I believe Esau married Ishmael's his granddaughter, if I'm not mistaken, or his niece. One of those relatives. So they used to be tight. Right, but let's read on.
Verse 34. Behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm.
Right.
They shall smite one another, Slacky, they shall smite one, Slacky. They shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own star, and blood shall be from the sword unto the belly.
Yeah, let me say this. This is not talking about nature. You had a brother kind of go into this and said, well, nature's going to take over World War III because clouds and stars are going to get involved. Right? This isn't talking about actual stars. And when have you ever seen a cloud shoot out a star? Clouds don't shoot out actual stars. Stars are missiles. Clouds are aerial vehicles. Whether it's a UAV, the Lord calls some of them locusts. Whether it's a drone, a fighter jet, these are your modern day aerial vehicles. This isn't talking about the chariots. This is talking about World War III happening. Right? So read that again, Baba Kashar King, verse 34.
So lock,
go ahead.
I just want to bring a precept out on that.
Con, you got it, King.
Okay, Con. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, right? And verse number 28. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. And that's not talking about fairy tale land, man. Everything just falls, right? And this is a Disney movie. Those stars are those bombs, and they gonna all drop. Those them same stars when you read in Revelations, the 6th chapter, man. You can link that up with 2nd Esdras 15. Link that up with Matthew 24. That's why you got to go into prophecy. Those stars are going to be dropping, which are ICBM missiles, man. And they're going to be dropping all throughout the earth, and all hell going to be breaking loose. Right? It says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So just because it says clouds right here, don't mean that's going into the chariots of the Most High. You have to have discernment in the scriptures. And oftentimes when you read Matthew, Mark 13, Luke 21, Matthew 24, it's a lot of gray areas. You got to fill it in with other prophets. Don't think it's just this, then that. The next thing you know, Yahweh Shai will be on the scene, right? It's things that have to take place within what Yahweh Shai is breaking down, right? But the Lord is saying, plain upon tables, World War III, those stars are going to be ICBM missiles dropping and the nukes hitting the earth.
God, and that's an excellent point. That's why you have to go through the precepts, because Matthew saw the same thing. He called them stars, right? And you went to Revelation 6, right? I'm gonna read it so brothers understand, right? Otherwise, you'll think that's why this Bible is not for everybody, because you'll think it's actual clouds that are going to take over, and then all of a sudden, the Most High is going to send the stars from the firmament, place them inside of the damn cloud, and the cloud going bam, shoot out a star. That's madness, man. Right? This Revelation, I'm gonna read it real quick. This Revelation chapter 6 and verse 12. Right? Revelation chapter 6 and 12. It reads, and I beheld, and when he had opened the 6th seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, right? And the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. So that's the same thing the brother went into. Just like a great wind blows off of the fruit off the tree, and they all fall simultaneously and swiftly, that's how the stars of heaven are going to fall into the earth as World War III is at its peak. And you see the effect of the stars in the next verse. What is the effect of the stars hitting the earth? It says, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. See that? So that's actual missiles coming from these aerial vehicles, which the Lord calls clouds, because Ezra's not going to describe every type of vehicle that's used in the sky for World War III. He's not going to say a unmanned aerial vehicle, a drone, a fighter jet, a F-32, the helicopter. He said these things are in the sky. That's what they're called, clouds. And I got a quick clip I want to show after your point, Jeremiah.
Yeah, I got a point. I got a precept as well. But like and with the clouds, every time you see cloud, it's not necessarily talking about chariot. It's the same thing for the horses. Every time you see a horse, it's not talking about a chariot. Sometimes the horses is literal horses. Sometimes it's angels, man. Right. So every time you see these things, that's why, like Brother Riot said, you gotta have you got discernment in this thing, man. Right. This is Revelation chapter 8 and verse 10, and it reads, and the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part, so like the third part of the rivers and upon the mountains of waters. Right. So it is stars gonna fall, man, upon these nations, man. The star gonna fall. It's like these missiles gonna hit the earth just like as if it was a star, man. When you see a shooting star like a missile in the sky, man, and when that star hit the earth and go doof, doof, that's how these missiles gonna be hitting the earth, man, and it's gonna destroy everybody here, everybody, everybody that's left on earth, whoever not beating up in them chariots, man. But you got it.
And I want to show this. This is Israel launching attacks on Tel Aviv. So if you on the earth, you gotta remember when you read these prophecies, you gotta put yourself in the mind frame of our fathers. Otherwise, if you go with a futuristic mind frame, you're not gonna get it. You're literally on the earth and having a vision of what's happening in the sky. So now you gotta put it in modern day terms. If you were on the ground right now and you saw missiles in the sky, what would they look like? If you had to describe it, you would say, well, these look like so-called shooting stars. So here's a video. Right, I'm not able to show it on the laptop. Hold on, bear with me 1 second. I know the screen. Right, I'm going to play this so brothers can see what we're actually talking about. Right, this looks like Star Wars right here, man. Right, it's about to show. Hold on. See that? Those look like stars in the sky, man, like a shooting star, right? But those are missiles. And they kind of look like little chariots moving, but they're not chariots, and they're not actual clouds. They're missiles. See the people running? That's why they call it the stars. And you can look up rocket launching, missile testing on your own. You can clearly see how you go through it in the nighttime. They look like stars. Right? I may have to find that clip later. Right, but that's what it's going into. Right, can seriously breaking up. Bad.
Yeah, you're breaking out kind of bad.
All right. What about now? It's still the same thing.
Yeah, it's still choppy.
All right, Lucky, bear with me.
I got a precept. This is the book of Psalms. Right? Book of Psalms, chapter 7 and verse 12. Because missiles are in the Bible, man. Right? When you use stars, you can't read the Bible like the so-called white man. You can't think carnally and think that literal stars fell from the sky or they're gonna fall from the sky. These things don't have, before I get that, let me get this. This is Jeremiah chapter 31. I believe it's verse 35. This is Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse Jeremiah 31 and verse 35. And it reads, Thus said the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances for the moon, and of the stars for a light by night, which divided the sea when the waves therefore roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, said the Lord, then the seed of Israel shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Right. So the Lord is saying, as long as you can see the sun, the moon, and the stars, you know that Israel is still here. If those ordinances of the sun, moon, and stars depart, then the Lord will cut Israel off forever. The nation. We still a nation. We still here. Tell you that Romans 11 and 1. Right. So when you read about the sun and the moon in the scriptures, it's not literal, the literal sun and the moon. The Lord not gonna smite the third part of the moon, the third part of the sun. We're not gonna the sun and the moon not literally gonna be dark. These type of things talking about the wisdom and knowledge. Right. We read in Jeremiah 50 and 50, like not 50, Jeremiah 30, those things will happen. The stars not literally gonna fall or anything like that. Right. So these things are not literal. There's they're like it says in Hosea 12 and 10, they're used as a similitude.
Con. So we can go back to second Ezra. Can brothers hear me now?
Con.
All right. We can go back to second Ezra chapter 15. And I'm gonna read 34 again. So now brothers understand that the clouds and the stars aren't literal clouds and stars. It reads, behold, the clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. These are the other nations in that region getting involved in World War III. From the south, the north, the east, the west, they shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own star. So you'll have missiles. That's why the brother went into Matthew 24, that the powers of the heavens are going to be shaken, right? Because these stars are going to be hitting the earth, man. London's going to be bombed. You see how London happened in World War II? The whole England got destroyed. Germany, Japan, the earth is going to look desolate. Let me get a quick precept in Isaiah chapter 24. Right? The Lord said the earth is clean dissolved, man. Because all of these stars are going to be hitting the earth. Right? Let me go to Isaiah chapter 24 real quick. Right? Just the book of Isaiah chapter 24 and verse. I'm going to start at, man, I'm not going to read the whole chapter. I'm going to read verse 19. Actually, I'm going to start at 6, and then I'm going to jump down. This is Isaiah chapter 24 and 6. Right? Isaiah 24 and 6. Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. Why are few men going to be left? Because when World War III transpires, the global population's going to greatly decrease, man. It's not, Esau says 7 billion people now. By the time World War III is over, we're led to believe that number is going to be maybe 1 billion, right? Maybe 750 million. We don't know, but we know it's not going to be that many more people. I'll tell you that in 2nd Ezra, chapter 16. All right, I'm going to jump down. Right, so the Lord said, a few men are left. Isaiah 24 and 19. Right, it reads, the earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. So what can dissolve elements? What can dissolve the buildings and the titanium and the skyscrapers when the stars hit the earth? That's what the Lord said. There shall be a great multitude of stars upon the earth, and they shall smite down their own star. Due to the effect of ICBM missiles and nuclear fallout and World War III happened. You know?
Let me bring this up. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 25 and verse 2. But thou hast made of a city an heap, of a defense city a ruin, a palace of strangers to be no city. It shall never be built. So the Lord saying, look, man, this thing is going to literally be utterly dissolved, man, with nuclear fire. Now, literally, the Lord requires that which is past. The Lord destroyed the whole earth with a flood. It wasn't just a little bit over there, a little bit over there. It was above all the mountains of the earth. Those mountains are thousands and thousands of miles high, man, and feet long. Now, the Lord didn't spare nothing, man. The Lord utterly destroyed all of the wicked. Imagine being on a damn ark and you can't see no land, man. That's how it's going to be, right? On a just balance of it with the nuclear fire. It's going to be that lake of fire. You ain't going to be seeing nothing, man. You ain't going to see nobody hanging onto a branch. Nobody's safe. It's going to be an utter heap, like the scriptures say, man. And when you burn something in a fireplace or you kindle a fire, it dissolves. And it's nothing left but ashes and a heap, man. It says, of a defense city, a ruin. And right now, this is a defense city. Has a government, right? It has all of the military. It has a defense system. But it's going to come down and be ruined. A palace of strangers to be no city. It shall never be built. Like you read about in Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 19, this thing ain't never going to be built again. You're not going to be able to dwell in this thing from generation to generation. Let me bring that up. It's Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited. You understand? So you're never going to be able to visit this place again. You're not going to be able to come to this place. It's going to be nothing but heap and ashes. neither shall it be dwelt from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be of full of dolorous creatures. Owls shall be there, and statutes shall dance there. So it's going to be nothing but a damn desert, man. And the Lord's going to utterly destroy this place.
Come on, quick. Oh, go ahead.
This is Second Peter chapter 3 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
It reads, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up." And that's about ICBM missiles, right? When it says, in which the heavens shall pass away with great noise, I mean, all these different kingdoms are going to be destroyed, man. Missiles are going to be hitting the earth, like the brother not talking about Revelation 6, a male mushroom cloud. All hell going to happen on the earth, and it's going to, it says, melt with fervent heat. What can make these buildings, right, these towers, these skyscrapers melt? Nuclear fire, man. Nuclear destruction. It says, verse 12, nevertheless, Salakia, verse 11, 2 Peter 3 and 11 says, "Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?" So knowing World War III, after brothers watch this video, you should examine yourself. Right? Because you know World War III is on a rise. You heard it out the scriptures. We're not reading out of a Harry Potter book. We're not reading it out of the book of Enoch. We're reading out the holy scripture, the word of the Most High God, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. So this thing is true, man. This thing is real. World War III is on a rise. Knowing that these things must be dissolved and that death and destruction is coming to America, we should start to examine ourselves. We should have been examining ourselves, but if we haven't, start to examine ourselves and repent and make our election sure in these last days.
Come. I'm gonna add to that. This Ezekiel chapter 22 and verse 20. It reads, I'm gonna start at 19. Ezekiel 22 and 19. "Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, because ye are all become dross, behold, therefore I will gather you into the midst of Jerusalem, as they gather silver, brass, and iron, and lead, and tin into the midst of the furnace, to blow the fire upon it, to melt it. So will I gather you in mine anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you." The Lord is going to melt people, man. How is the Lord love everybody when he's going to melt you? When you melt somebody, you liquefy them. You turn it from a solid to a liquid, like melted ice, right? That's how man is going to be. Look at ice slowly melt, like an ice sculpture. It's dripping, it's falling apart. That's how man is going to be. Man's skin going to be falling, melting. His eye going to consume away like in Zechariah. His tongue going to melt in his mouth. The Most High is going to melt man with these stars. Right? Verse 21. "Yea, I will gather you and blow upon you in a fire of my wrath, and ye shall be melted in the midst thereof. As silver is melted in the midst of the furnace, so shall ye be melted in the midst thereof. And ye shall know that I, the Lord, have poured out my fury upon you." So man is going to be prepared to be melted. Right? Be prepared to be liquefied. That's what the Lord going to do to you, man. It's going to be damn wet spots. You're going to be in Jacob's running. It's damn wet spots. That was a man, he might got hit by a rocket. Your foot is all wet. You think it's water. You think it's mud. No, that's man. Right. He has been liquefied. You tripping, you fall. You chasing the nations down. They falling in mud. That's not mud. That's man. You got it.
I was just going to say, you're going to be thinking you stepping in gum and syrup. You're going to be nasty and messy. Jake might even slip and die from stepping into man. Or you're gonna step in a grown man. He's gonna be a puddle, like a puddle of water after a rainy day.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of puddles on the earth, man.
And that was the spirit, because I was just about to bring that precept out from another prophet, man. That's how you know these prophets, man. They saying the same thing over and over and over, right? And this the last of this generation, man. And we're going to say the same things over and over and over. Stop talking about World War. We ain't never going to stop talking about World War III, man. We're not going to stay in Proverbs all day. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 9, right? And verse number 7. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will melt them and try them. For how shall I do for the daughter of my people? So the Lord saying that once, say twice, man. And multiple prophets, you understand, the Lord's going to melt. Nuclear fire is all in the Bible, man. Damn near every single prophet is prophesied about it. It's destruction in every book, man. Get ready for all hell to break loose, man. These words aren't just damn in the ancient world. These things are alive and kicking off every single day. Every single day we getting closer and closer to World War III and us getting up out of here, man. So brothers got to be watching the signs and the times. Well, let me bring this out. Let me bring out this quick precept. And the brother Jeremiah is talking about examining yourself. And that's a big part that you got to be doing in these last days, man. Or you're going to be utterly destroyed, man. So let me bring this out. In Ezekiel, bear with me. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 33 and verse number 12. Therefore, thou son of man, say unto the children of thy people, the righteousness of the righteous shall not deliver him in the day of his transgression. So don't think just because you've been laboring in this thing 2 years, been laboring 5 months, been laboring 5 years, that's going to deliver you some kind of way, man. Brothers have to endure unto the end. It says, as for the wickedness of the wicked, he shall not fall thereby in the day that he turneth from his wickedness. Neither shall the righteous be able to live for his righteousness in the day that he sinneth. Right? So brothers got to have a clean garment all the way to the end. Stop feeling like you done stocked up all this spiritual gold and wealth and you can kick back and relax, man. Now it's time to kick in an overdrive and be more reading more than ever, showing more brotherly love, right? Going into the prophecies more than ever. It says what? When I shall say to the righteous that he shall surely live, if he trust to his own righteousness and commit iniquity, all his righteousness shall not be remembered. So no matter what you do, how many videos you made, how many people you counseled, how many people you gave money to the poor, that doesn't mean anything, man. If you don't hold true, right, to these words and to the end. And brothers got to always remember that. But his iniquity shall he have committed, he shall die for it. And it's going off to be fearful, man. So when these days kick off, like we read about in Luke 21, hey, the Lord told you don't be fearful. So when these things that we looking at in Australia, right, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, when those things creep over here, man, brothers got to be on fire.
God. We can go back to Second Ezra 15 and 36.
Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 36. And dung of men unto the camel's hole.
Man, that's a lot of dead bodies, right? Go on.
And there shall be great fearfulness and trembling upon earth. And they that see the wrath shall be afraid, and trembling shall come upon them.
Yeah, let's go to Revelation 6. People are going to be in doomsday bunkers, man. Hiding out, going to nuclear fallout shelters, right? Trying to find out where they can survive the missiles. You're going to hear the air raid sirens 24/7. You got to envision this thing. It's not just going to be one missile hit, then everything's destroyed and the screen go black. You wake up in the chariot, man. No, this thing, World War III, is not just going to be 1 second. We don't know how long World War III is going to be till the ICBM missiles hit America. Right? We don't know. You know? You got trumpets. The Lord said in 2nd Ezra 5, men might be alive after the third trumpet. So, the first trumpet may go, the second trumpet may go, and the Most High said if he grant thee to live, you might see after the third trumpet that the sun shall shine again in the night, and the moon thrice in the day, paraphrasing. All right, but let's go to Revelation chapter 6. And we can start. We can get straight to the point. Yeah, 16.
It's Revelation chapter 6, verse 16.
No, you can start at 15.
Verse 15. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains,
Right?
and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb.
Right?
Verse 17, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?
Hey, that's a mean verse right there, man. And that who shall be able to stand? Meaning nobody. It's not where you can say, well, look, I might be able to stand it. No, nobody's going to be able to stand in the day of the Lord. The kings of the earth are what? Your top billionaires. You got doomsday bunkers that cost millions of dollars. I did a cold cut on it a long time ago on the top doomsday bunkers that they have, man. Some of these doomsday bunkers got classrooms, hospitals, gymnasiums, damn kitchens, cafeterias. You understand? They don't just have canned goods. A lot of these they got chefs, kitchens, you know? And the kings of the earth are going to be in these doomsday bunkers. The elites, your Rothschilds, your Rockefellers, your Oppenheimers, your DuPonts, your Gettys, right? Your Warburgs, they're all going to be fun. And they all have them right now. They're going to them. When World War III kick off, their security and their intelligence is going to put them inside them underground military bases. Now, Jake, you got your local shed. Your shed can't save you.
Right.
You understand? Your she shed. Oh, I got a she shed. No, your she shed can't save you, man. You know? Your basement, you put aluminum foil all around it. You boarded it up. That can't save you, man. Aluminum foil and plywood's not going to save you. So the Lord is preserving these nations and these elites for the to be in slavery. That's why he's putting them in these military bases, because we have to have slaves. So the Lord said, I want you to go hide out, just so we can round you up and put you in slavery. You got it, King.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tyrone, real quick, I just got a quick point. Tyrone, you're not going to be found in them bunkers. Tyrone, LaQuisha, you know, Jose, down the street, you're not going to be in those bunkers. That's not you. That's not speaking about you. You're not the prince of the earth. Neither are you a chief captain. Just let you know this is speaking about Esau. In case Jake try to, oh, maybe I can get out of it. Maybe I can kind of make myself a little bunker, just, too, just like them.
and we had a Jake at camp one day who was trying to convince us, and he said the Lord brought him to us he how to take a semi truck, the trailer of the semi truck, and turn it into an underground bunker, 6 feet. So
Wait, say that again, Salakia.
it's Jake. So was supposed to Lord to teach us how to make an underground bunker out of with a trailer of a semi truck. He said he drive trucks and he know how to, and he taught us life straws from dollars for you and your family, for y'all. So for when y'all in the underground bunkers, y'all can eat and drink from them through the life straws. So
Wow. Wow. And quick point. Hey, them bunkers not even for your Jay-Z. You got people saying, I hope Jay-Z make it, because when Mrs. we gotta have music. No, Jay-Z's not going to make it. Hope LeBron James survives so he can start his own league. That's what Jake thinking about. Jake kind of stumbled across the video. They hide and they hear the destruction. They thinking about all the top idols they want to survive. LeBron James, Jay-Z, damn Ruby Tuesdays, the chef from Ruby Tuesdays, damn Big Mac.
Actors.
Oh, yeah, your favorite actor, Samuel Jackson. You want him to make it. Denzel. Hey, this world is over with, man. Stop holding on to this world. Nobody on this side that's not sealed is going to make it on that side. That's the great gulf. You read that in Luke 16. You got a great gulf that they can't pass on this side, and you can't pass on that side. So no Samuel Jackson and LeBron James and Ruby Tuesdays. You want to take the whole Ruby Tuesdays because they got the endless fries, the bottomless fries, right? And they got your favorite margarita. You go after work. You want to bring it to the kingdom. It's not going to happen, man. Right? You got it, King.
I was going to say, Jake trying to bring this world into the next world. He's
Yeah.
trying to put it up into a little box. Try to, like the box where you get fired in the office. He's trying to put it all in that box and take it to the kingdom. This is right. It's like Ecclesiastes 7:16. It's like not 16. I just had it. Say not thou that the former days are better than these. Here we go.
Yeah, why you find that quick point? That's sad. Because that's all Jake knows. Real sad when you think about it. Because you want to take FaceTime to the kingdom, your Rolex. You're going to have greater things that you can't even imagine in the kingdom. Stop wanting to take FaceTime and NBA basketball. We're going to be able to do the NBA in the kingdom. No, brother. We're going to have greater things coming to us. You know? Salakia Yaradan.
It's Ecclesiastes 7:10. Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? Don't be saying, even in the, well, you won't be saying this in the kingdom, but best believe it's going to be Jake in the wilderness. They're going to be saying, remember that Big Mac? They're going to close the eye, pretend to eating the Big Mac. You know, Jake going to bug out on that day, man. They're going to be trying to play basketball while the Lord trying to tell them something. Jake too busy playing two square. Jake mind is not too good. It's not too shabby.
Right. Let me bring this up. This second Esdras, right, chapter 7 and verse 43. But the day of doom. So, hey, man, the day of doom is in the scriptures, man. You hear Esau talking about doomsday. There's a doomsday clock, right? All hell about to break loose on doomsday. You can read about that in second Esdras, man. All the prophets talk about the day of the Lord, man. Because this thing, hey, the Lord been drum rolling the day of the Lord since you open the book. Since you come in the truth, you understand, oh, all hell about to break loose, man. Start scratching your beard, right? Start what the hell is going on, man? Hey, the Lord is about to destroy this place, man. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time. So, like the brothers is going into, you can't drag all of this folly to the kingdom. The Lord's destroying everything. Your favorite chain, right? Your high school crush. The Lord's going to destroy everybody, man. You can't take nothing to the kingdom. All you're going to have, you understand, is the children of Israel. You understand? Yahweh Shai, the children of Israel, and Lord willing, you make it. And the beginning of the immortality for it to come, wherein corruption is past. So no more getting hurt, no more being bruised. Hey, brothers have beat up bodies, man. You know, from playing sports, you know, from getting hurt. All hell break loose, man. Hey, they got ailments on their jobs. Things fell on them. Brothers be lifting bricks and boxes. Brothers are tired of these things, man. Got a lot of elders. Hey, man, being on the highways and byways beat you up too, right? Standing for hours, back hurt, straining your damn voice. We trying to get out of these bodies. Said corruption is past. Right? Earlier today, I was down in the elevator with Jake. He smelled just like, you know, some damn pack, man. Right? And I was pissed. It's like, damn, I gotta smell this all the way up the elevator. That's all I smelled. And I was vexed, man. I was thinking of 2 Peter, chapter 2 and verse 7. Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, man. On the phone. Bro, I'm sick of this world, man. All you see is weed, harlots, damn drugs, right? Folly. People want to fight you. Spirits trying to jump on you, right? If you really obtain the kingdom, man, the Lord chose you, man. Don't just think you're going to get the kingdom because you got fringes on and you keeping the next high holy day. This thing is deeper than that. We're in corruption is past. Intemperance is at an end. Infidelity is cut off. Righteousness is grown. And truth is sprung up. So it's going to be no more lies and philosophies. It's going to be nothing but truth and righteousness sprung up on the earth. We can go back to second Esdras. Right? Yeah, you just had a 5.8 earthquake in Indonesia. Right? You brought that out earlier. Yeah, that just happened. So we still watching, man. We doing the live, warning you, and we still checking this stuff out, man. Now, quick update on this situation with Israel and Israel, the United States, United Kingdom, Romania, and Iran. Quick update. The White House is now coming out saying that they have given a green light to Israel to respond whatever they seem fit. Whatever they want to do, they could do it.
And Israel said, we're going to do it however we feel like it, whenever we feel like it, and we're going to do whatever we want to do to Iran. That's the latest information. And everybody said, go ahead, Israel, do what you want to do. Now, like I said, America, when they get attacked, they do a lot of talking. When Canada gets attacked or England, they do a lot of talking. Israel, one thing they don't do a lot of talking. Right? They might bomb them, man. They might destroy when they bomb. We want that to happen. We don't want them to say we're going to put an embargo, we're going to sanction you, we're not going to do trade with you. We don't want to see that. If that happens, I'm going to have my head down. I'm going to be depressed, and I'm going to turn all the lights off in the room. Then I'm going to turn it back on and call upon the name of the Lord. Right? So we don't want that to happen, man. So let's go back to 2nd Ezra, chapter 15. Right? I'm not serious, but let's go back to that. Got Jake saying these brothers, man, they're going to turn all the lights off. But we're going to be mad, man, if World War III don't kick off. Right? We want to get out of here, like the brother said, man. It stink. The water stink. We go to the harbor, the damn water stink, man. You can't breathe. Bodies. It's like dead bodies, man. Like I always say, your garments ain't 100%. Your damn clothes itch. Pulling the damn tag, and the damn tag annoying, and your woman damn getting on your nerves. Your kids running around, giving you the damn middle finger. Trash man at damn 4 in the morning making all the damn noise.
Right.
Getting up like, what the hell is this?
Hit it damn beep, damn beep.
Yeah, damn big ass beep. You go outside, you park your car, the damn tow truck, pulling your car out, man. This damn boot on your car. Esau pointing, laughing. Police just killed your cousin. It's chemtrails all in the air. It's been 3 months straight with no clouds in the sky. So we hate it here, man. So let's go back to 2nd Ezra 15 and 37.
2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 37. And there shall be great fearfulness and trembling upon earth, and they that see the wrath shall be afraid, and the trembling shall come upon them.
Yeah, they're going to be going to these military bunkers. They call them dumps. They call them deep underground military bases. Right, let's go on.
And then shall there come great storms from the south and from the north, and another part from the west.
Yeah, a group of clouds is called a storm. It's not talking about a thunderstorm. Right, when you see a group of clouds in the sky, you know a storm is coming. A whole bunch of dark clouds come together, and it makes a storm. Right, so it's all a similitude like the locusts. Locusts move in an innumerable amount, right? They move. It's not just one locust flying by itself, dolo, kind of doing this thing. Locusts move in bands. See that in the book of Proverbs 30 and 27, right? So these clouds, how they're going to move, how these aerial vehicles, they're going to move in storms. It's the same thing, right? Let's go on.
Verse 39. And strong winds shall arise from the east, and shall open it, and the clouds which he raised up in wrath, and the stars stirred to cause fear toward the east, and the west wind shall be destroyed.
So you can't pinpoint the exact countries, but we do know this is talking about global war. Right, let's go to 2nd Ezra 13 and 31. Right, let's read about that. Because you read about these nations in the east and the west, the south and the north. Right, 2nd Ezra 13 and 31.
2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 31. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another.
You see that? Read that again, Baba Gashar.
2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 31. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another.
That's World War III, right? This continent against this continent, this country against this country, this kingdom against that kingdom, these allies against these allies. That's what we're reading about in 2nd Ezra 15. We got these clouds from the east, from the west, from the south, and the north, shooting down all these different stars. Even the Hamites are going to get involved. Egypt, see that in Ezekiel 38. Egypt, Ethiopia, Libya, they're the south. If you look up how the world is laid out, you got the southern so-called hemisphere, the north. You got the countries in the south. You got your kings of the east. You got your western powers. You got your northern powers. They're all going to be a partaker of World War III. Just look up a map and see the different countries and who their allies are. That's what Ezra's describing in the second Ezra 15. Right, so we can go on to second Ezra 15 and
40.
we had I believe we have 40. Yeah, I believe we have 40. Come.
You want to read it? All right, gone. Verse 40. The great, it's like in second Ezra chapter 15, verse 40. The great and mighty clouds shall be lifted up, full of wrath, and the star, that they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein, and they shall have, it's like they shall pour out over every high and eminent place an horrible star.
Yeah, like the brother went into cities being broken down. The horrible star is the ICBM. You got other stars like other missiles, but the horrible star is the intercontinental ballistic missile. Your Satan 1, your Satan 2, your mother of all bombs, the Moab. All these are the horrible stars that are going to be upon the high and eminent places. Right? We can go on.
Verse 41. Fire and hail and fleeing swords and many waters, that all fields may be full, and all rivers with the abundance of great waters.
Right? The earth is going to be wasted. Go on.
And they shall break down the cities and walls, mountains and hills, trees of the wood, and grass of the meadows, and their corn.
So when we get beamed back down in the wilderness, the earth is going to be desolate, man. It's going to be completely desolate. Trees are going to be cut down. Actual mountains are going to be destroyed. Kingdoms are going to be destroyed. It's going to be dead bodies everywhere. We're going to have to, the Lord said we're going to take 7 months to bury the dead bodies. Right? Not literally 7 months, but the heathen are going to have to go find the dead bodies, mark them. We're going to have to bury them. So it's not like you're just going to be in it, get beamed down out the chariot and you placed in the kingdom. And you get beamed down right in your house. You got Esau ready to bow down to. It don't work like that, man. We got to clean up the earth, all the dead bodies. You said you got a point out?
Nah, Khan, that's right.
Yeah, all the dead bodies, all the pieces of helicopter debris. You might see a bullet. You got to get all the stray bullets off the ground. You got to break up the military bases. All that stuff got to be cleaned up, man. The damn helicopter blade, a fighter jet over there. You're not going to be just enjoying your kingdom and it's a piece of a fighter jet hanging outside Jerusalem. So all that stuff has to be cleansed. Like we always say, that's going to be the new Genesis, where the earth is without form and void because everything's destroyed. And it's darkness over the face of the deep. And the elect are the light, man, spiritually, that are going to put things back in order and bring everything together and establish the kingdom.
And that precept the brother was paraphrasing. I'm about to bring that out. It's a book, Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 12. And 7 months shall the house of Israel be burying of them, that they may cleanse the land. Well, like the brother bringing out, man, you're not going to get beamed back down. Everything's just going to happen in an instant, in the snap of a finger. It's going to have to take a minute, even in the second wilderness, man. To rightly divide, right, the elect, who's who. The Lord got to set up the government. You understand? The Lord got to set up the officers. Who's the captains? Who's going to lead? Who's going to do all the hunts? All of this is going to take time. Lord's going to purge out all the rebels. Then you're going to have to go on a manhunt, man. Don't think you're just going to snap your fingers and then everything is just going to be right in front of your face. Right? We're going to have to hunt these heathens, man. That's in the word. From every hole, every crevice, every rock of the mountains. We have to drag them up. And when you're dragging them up, you're not going to have some big old hand in the kingdom. You're going to grab all of them up by their necks all at the same time. Right? You got to gather them up in a pit and lock them up. Just like you lock us all up, man. Right? You got to gather them all up. You got to bind them up, put them in pits. You got to go on a military warfare hunt, grab them. Then you got to drag them to Israel. Then you got to beat into them the law, right? You got to teach the statutes and commandments. You got to set the world in order, right? And even when all of that's doing, when you beat them down, then they're going to have to cleanse the land. They're going to be your modern day cleaners. You got the trash man right now every Tuesday, every Wednesday. He come, you hear him, the beat, 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 right? You hear damn Ray talking trash, man, 5 in the morning outside your house, right? All hell breaking loose. But the Edomites, they going to be the modern day trash man. They going to clean up every damn, like the brother said, they going to clean up the dead bodies. They going to clean up all the trash, and everything's going to get governed. Right? This is not the Noah movie. And brother saw that, he kind of looked around and things started happening. This is not fairy tale land, man. The Lord is going to have to bring down the water. The grass is going to have to grow. Everything is going to have to be set in order, man. Right? It says that they may cleanse the land, yet all the people of the land shall bury them. It shall be to them a renown the day that I should be glorified, saith the Lord God, man. And that day, man, we're going to celebrate in the kingdom, Lord willing, man. That'll be the day we took down the heathen, right? Just like you got our forefathers, Judas Maccabeus and them. They took down the so-called white man, right? All hell broke loose. The rebuilding of the temple, right? You got all of these things when we overcame our enemies, and the Lord set that as a high holy day or a day of Rion. So in that day, the Lord's going to be glorified, and these Edomites and these different nations, they're going to have to cleanse the earth.
That's right, man. It's going to go down, man. Right? There's a lot of work that got to be done, man. So let's go back to 2nd Ezra 15. Let's read 42 again.
You on mute.
Yeah, you're on mute, King.
It's like 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 42. And they shall break down the cities and walls, mountains and hills, trees of the wood, and grass of the meadows, and their corn. And they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon and make her afraid.
So all these drones, the fighter jets, they're going to aim their missiles at America and make her afraid. Right? Go on.
They shall come to her and besiege her. The star and all wrath shall they pour out upon her. Then shall the dust and smoke go up unto heaven, and all they that be about her shall bewail her.
See, so America, they're going to be destroyed too, man. But they're not going to be destroyed immediately. They're going to be destroyed at the end of World War III. Because you hear all of the other places being destroyed, right? Cities and walls and different places with stars. And then America, eventually, they're going to take that L. Right? Let's go on.
Verse 45. And they that remain under her shall do service unto them that have put her in fear.
Meaning the nations that were allies with America, they're going to be in subjection to the nations that destroyed America until Yahweh shall return, which is going to be damn instantly. Right? Go on.
And thou, Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person,
right?
Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee.
So now the Lord is talking about China, Japan, who will want to get drunk and have an allegiance with America. Right? Go on.
Thou hast followed her, that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore saith God, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death.
Go on.
And the glory of the power shall be dried up as a flower. When the heat shall rise that is sent over thee,
go on.
Thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastised with wounds, so that the mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive thee.
See that? So now we went into the dragons of Arabia, World War III, and like I said, we planned this thing by ear, man.
Right.
We're literally planned it by ear. I'm literally on the damn internet on the laptop, hitting that refresh button, bringing in breaking news as often as we can about what's happening, man. Right? Let's go to Matthew 24 and 44. Right? Matthew 24 and 44. And that's how brothers got to be, man. We're not sitting around watching Netflix all day, man. Oh, I'm done watching that series. What next? Right? We're not at the damn beach all day. And we're watching, man. We got work that we trying to get out of here, man. You know? So let's bring that out,
Yeah,
Matthew 24 and 44.
I was gonna say I'd be doing that at work. I kind of go to the bathroom, see what's the latest news going on around the world.
Yeah.
I'd be excited seeing that stuff. I was like, hold on. I'd be scrolling every other second. Then I gotta kind of stop,
Yeah. And Turkey's on fire. For brothers that don't
Yeah,
know, Turkey is on fire. It's wildfires in like 30 different places in Turkey, and the people said we're living in hell right now. We don't know what to do. So that's happening in Turkey. Forest fires are in Turkey for the 4th day, and nobody has any answers, man. A lot of brothers got killed in Turkey, a lot of martyrs. Antipas, you understand, and Pergamum, and a lot of our fathers in Asia Minor, they died by the hands of the Romans. The Eastern Roman Empire was a lot of Jakes. They died out there in Asia Minor. So it's a lot of innocent blood shed in the land of Turkey for our fathers. And the Lord has wildfires that they can't stop.
right.
Right? So did you read Matthew 24 and 44?
Book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 44. Therefore be ye also ready,
What the
for
Lord
in
say?
such therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as you think not the Son of Man cometh.
That's plain. Be ready. Brothers got to be ready. Brothers wanting to examine yourself. You should be fasting more. You should be praying more. You should be making sure you keep reading the law. Am I really keeping the commandments? You might be breaking the commandment. You don't even know. Make sure you're keeping the commandments. Make sure you're praying for more fear towards the Most High, mercy, hope, faith. You understand? Now it's not the time to be praying to see how long David's beard was. Or did David have a long beard? Or did David kind of twist it up and put the thing on? Right? Did Sarah have cornrows? Or did she have the little gold things in the hair? Because I know that Sarah, because she was old and older people, we're not thinking about that, man. We looking to get out of here, man. So we looking to examine ourselves, praying, fasting, studying, and abounding in the work of the Lord. Let me get this in 1 Corinthians 15. Right? This 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 8. It reads, it's the Apostle Paul speaking. And last of all, he was seen of me also, as one born out of due time. Right? Why? Because the Apostle Paul came in last. Right? The 12 already came. Yahushua came in last, like one born out of due time. For I am the least of the apostles, that am not meet to be called an apostle, because I persecuted the church of the Most High. He says, hey, look, don't even call me an apostle. I'm not worthy to be called an apostle. Verse 10, but by the grace of the Most High, I am what I am. And his grace, which was bestowed upon me, was not in vain. But I labored more abundantly than they all. Yet not I, but the grace of the Most High, which was with me. Therefore, whether it were I or they, so we preach, and so ye believe. So the Apostle Paul labored more than Peter, John, James, Nathaniel, Thomas, and all these men. Not really him, but the grace and the spirit that the Lord gave him to do those works. So we have to ask ourselves, are we laboring more abundantly? Am I reading more? Am I studying more? Or am I slothful? Am I fasting more? Am I giving in to demons? Am I giving in to seducing spirits? Am I being slothful? Am I entertaining folly and vanity? Am I magnifying the name of the Lord? You got to ask yourself these things, man. Or are you just worried about a woman? Or that big promotion at your job? Right? We worried about making it out of here, man. And calling upon the name of the Lord. You got it, King.
Con, I want to make a quick point too, right? And brothers got to stop waiting on the next man to get the information, man. The internet could Shoot, man, the internet could go out tomorrow, man. You can't depend on the next brother in his breakdown, the next brother being on fire, the next brother. You might as well put a dress on, man, and be the brother's second wife. You understand? Like you gotta be in this thing for yourself. You gotta run your own household, man. Right? You gotta wake up your children. You gotta wake up your wife. You gotta run your household, man. You gotta diligently search. Isn't that what the Lord said? That the king is going to diligently search out a matter in the book of Proverbs 25:2. So brothers gotta be watching in this thing, man. Right? Lord forbid something happened to us, man. Hey, that next brother, he gotta raise up, man, and he gotta do the work. He gotta watch, right? And what we may not know, you may know, and what you put out there, we may not have heard it, and what we putting out there, you may not have heard it. So every brother can help the next brother in this nation, but if it's only a couple of brothers laboring, that only is a couple of information that could be put out there. So everybody gotta diligently search and acquire the matter of what's going on in the earth, man. You know, these are the days of prophecy, and this is exciting, man. These are the days that we've been. When you come into this truth, you hear about all hell breaking loose. Who would have thought it would have been this fast, man? Kind of been in this thing what 2 to 4 years, 4 to 6 years, 8 years. Brothers on this live may have been in there for months. 4 months ago, you was in the world. Now you're unfolding the downfall of Babylon the Great, man. And it's beautiful to be here and be able to vision what our forefathers have written down, man. So this should excite you. This should get you on fire, right? This should make you zealous toward the end, and this should make you hasten to flee from these times, man. Because like brothers always say over and over, our brothers are tired of being in these mortal bodies, man. Now, let me bring this out. 2 Peter, right? It's the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, and verse number 12. Looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Lord, man. And the only way you can hasten unto the day of the Lord is if you're prepared. If you got blots on your garment, you're not on fire, you're not going to be hasting. You're going to be wanting to take your time. You're going to want 8 more months. You're going to want 3 more years. You're going to want things to kind of clear up. You got them spirits on you, man. When you want fire, you zealous, right? You hate Babylon. You hate the wicked. You ready to depart. And you're going to be hastening toward the end, man. Brothers may haste toward that check at the end of the week. Brothers may haste toward relaxing after a long day of work. We have to hasten toward to get rid of these seeing all of this wickedness, right? These all of these damn harlots. We got haste to get out of this thing, man. Looking for and hasting until the coming of the day of the Lord, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, man. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness, man. And that's like a dream to even wake up and never be wicked ever again, man. Never see wickedness. Come outside and see nothing but love, peace, you understand? And all of our forefathers, us. That's what we hasten unto, man. And the brothers got to be on fire and be diligently watching. I know if you cut on the TV and saw that there was a wildfire heading your way, what's the first thing brothers will probably do? Start praying. But if you occupied in prophecy all days of the week, you're going to see Australia's on a lockdown, wildfires in California, right? New Zealand, right? In Peru, just had earthquakes, right? And it was an earthquake today, and it was an earthquake yesterday, man.
Yep.
And the brothers are watching this thing every single day. It should be another reason to be scared, to be praying on Yahweh Shemi Awashah for salvation, man.
Hey, Jake, well, let me bring out the scripture.
Bring it out.
This is Luke 10. It's the classic. Luke chapter 10, verse 1. After these things, the Lord appointed the other 70 also, and sent them 2 and 2 before his face, into every city and place, whither he himself would come. Therefore said he unto them, the harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of hosts, that he would send forth laborers into his harvest. And this is very true even unto this very day. Monday, 8:52, our Eastern Standard Time. is very true. There's still not enough workers. There's still
Right.
not enough brothers in this truth, right? We should have, you got other camps. They do a Monday night thing. We need to see 10 more camps doing a Monday night thing. So this word can go all throughout the corners of this world. We want to see brothers in Europe doing a Monday night thing. We want to see brothers in Asia doing a Monday night thing, right? So much to the point where the nations get sick and tired of it, where it becomes a burden and a noisome sound in their ear.
Right.
Because
I wa-
all in all, you got about what? 10 big so-called group, 10 so-called big groups, 12 probably that you can kind of name off, maybe 7 that you can name off your, top of your head. It's not enough. That's all we saying. It's nowhere near enough.
Yeah, let me get this precept. This is the book of 2 Corinthians. It's like it is 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 10. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Hamashiach, that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad. Knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men, but we are made manifest unto the Most High, and I trust also are made manifest in your consciousness. So the Lord said, we know the terror of the Lord. We know World War III is about to kick off. We know all hell is literally about to break loose. And it's going to go from all hell is about to break loose to all hell is breaking loose right now. Right? That's what it's going to go into, man. And we know the terror of the Most High. We know the ICBM missiles are coming. We talk about the chariots. We go into the prophecies. So if you know the terror of the Lord, you should be out there persuading men to get right. You should be out there persuading men to turn away from their sins. Everywhere, I fear the Lord. I fear the Lord. We're supposed to be persuading men to put the blunt down, to the Eve, to take care of your children, to guide the house in righteousness, men to get your nation in order. If you know the fear and the terror of the Lord, you should be persuading men, because we're all going to have to answer for the deeds that we have done in our body, good or bad. You got to answer if you was going to hell off. If you were supposed to fast, and you decided to smoke that blunt. If you were supposed to keep the commandments, but you decided to break the Sabbath day for a woman. You got to answer for all these things. For holding that hatred in your heart, you got to answer for that. You got to answer for what? Eating that unclean food. You got to answer for loving the world. You got to answer for gossiping and slandering and being a busybody and being a damn nigga. You got to give an answer for all of that, man. And you're going to have to give an answer for what? All of the righteous things you did, good or bad. So what manner of persons ought we to be in the last days, and all holy conversation and godliness, man? Literally, you can wake up tomorrow and Israel responded with a damn bomb. And they bombed the capital city of Iran. And you turn on the news and the people of Iran are running for their life. And Israel got drones over there, damn, just throwing bombs. That's it. You know? You got it, King. Brothers don't have no, we can bring out closing precepts.
Con, I kick it off.
Con.
All right. Go to the class. All right, it's the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse number 2. And it reads, be watchful. So that's a commandment, man, from our Lord. You have to be watchful. You have to continue watching in this thing. Be watchful and strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die, for I have not found thy works perfect before God. Remember therefore how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast. So hold fast, man, in this thing. And that's everything. That's manyfold. That's your faith. That's your works that you're doing. That's the doctrine of life. Right? That's everything you've been taught and rooted in. You have to hold fast into that, man. Even your crown. Don't let nobody take it. Hold fast in this thing, man. Hold fast your spirit. Right? Don't be sick. You have to hold fast doing the works of the Lord, man. It says what? Remember, therefore, how thou hast received and heard, right? And hold fast and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief. And we literally go through this all the time, but it's deeper and double to that which is And really, you got to understand the Lord said He will catch a lot of men like a thief, man. And a lot of men, like brothers are brought out earlier on in the lesson, they're gonna be watching TV, man. It's Jake right now at the carnival, man. It's Jake right now thinking about what new job and how they're stressing how to take their daughter to college. They're focusing on the wrong things and hastening in Babylon to continue 20 more years, man. You have to literally what? Hold fast, repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come unto thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee, man. So you should be able to perceive. No man knoweth the day nor the time, but you should be able to see that storm coming. Now you can see that great cloud over your head. You may not know the exact second the drops is going to drop, but you can see it. You can see the cloud coming from afar. You can feel the temperature kind of shift. You can feel the wind blowing, right? And then you can see the thing over your head. But it's up to the Lord when those drops is going to drop. So you got to be watching these prophecies, understanding the time, and knowing that great cloud is already here, man. So brothers got to be in this thing and strengthening the things which remain. Brothers got it.
Con.
This is Iraq, chapter 35, verse 4. Thou shalt not appear empty before the Lord. The Lord gave you a job, right? And in a job, you have to, have some type of works, right? You have to do something. You have to do, what He told you to do. Even on a carnal level, when you're in captivity, your so-called boss may tell you to do X, Y, and Z, clean this, get that, hold those boxes there. You have to do it, right? Because at the end of the day, best believe your boss is going to examine what you did and what you didn't do, right? He's going to consider that, okay, should I keep him another day or do I need to let him go? That's how the Most High is thinking. Do I need to let this brother go? I know he didn't even do this. I gave him ample amount of time to do that. I'll make sure that this happens so he can have more time. I might have to just let him go. Give it to the next brother. That's how this thing works. So again, thou shalt not appear empty before the Lord. And we're not only speaking this to Israel. A lot of the things we say, damn near all of the things we say to ourselves as well, right? It's not a guarantee we're going to make it to the kingdom just because we kind of, prophesying and going through the spirit, going in the spirit about the prophecies and the scriptures. That's not giving us a guaranteed spot, you know. So even us.
That's right. That's right. Somebody said Israel is retaliating right now. I don't know. I haven't seen that. Well, we're going to check it out. We're going to look into it. We're going to look into it. Right? This Revelation 22 and 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. So every man, whatever you put out there, that's what you're going to get, man. With 13 nights straight of blood moon, 13 nights straight of blood. Since I've been in the truth, I've never seen that. You might have seen one blood moon, then a few months later. But 13 nights of blood moons, earthquakes at a phenomenal level, famines on the earth. Like I said, when you into the prophecies, you got to have it like a sheet in the paper. You kind of just checking off each prophecy. You write them all down. You go to 2nd Ezra 5, you write them down. Go to 2nd Ezra 9, you write them down. You go to Luke 21, Mark 13, Matthew 24, you just write a list. You kind of just checking them off, man. Okay, we got that one. Okay. Then you go on the news, you looking. Okay, that one came to pass. You check it off. Go online. Okay, that one. You got to check out all these prophecies, man. The Most High is rendering to every man according to his work. All right, the brother said he's going to send it via Instagram. He said he sent it, right? He said the brother said Israel's retaliating kind of right now, right? But the Lord said he's going to give unto every man according as his work shall be, right? Salaki, bear with me. Against Iran over they didn't really do it. I seen what you sent, King, right? This is just one of those, they kind of hyping it up.
Iran may have crossed the red line with its recent successful attack on an Israeli tanker on Thursday night. After Iran's successful attack on an Israeli oil tanker on Thursday, the Israeli administration has turned all its contacts and allies to stand up to Iran and seek their support in a possible conflict. After the attack, Israel, the USA, and the UK are alarmed. Israel is now negotiating with the US and UK administrations to pressurize Iran to launch a counterattack. Also, Israel's foreign minister said he has ordered the nation's diplomats to push for UN action against Iran over a deadly attack on a ship managed by an Israeli billionaire. On Friday, Foreign Minister Yair Lapid said he has ordered the nation's diplomats to push for United Nations action against Iranian terrorism. I've instructed the embassies in Washington, London, and the UN to work with their interlocutors in government and the relevant delegations in the UN headquarters in New York, Lapid tweeted. When he served as defense minister under Benjamin Netanyahu, and when he was in the opposition, Bennett took a combative approach to Iran, preaching harsh measures to spirit of
So it's not too many, just give you a background, but we're gonna play it by ear, man. If anybody sees anything, hey, let us know, man. If we see something, we're gonna let you know. You know, but with that, we're gonna close up, giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach Kwamalak Yahushai. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David. Most I will and everybody was edified for the mighty Sabbath service and that tuned in. We're gonna take questions for about 60 minutes. So for those that have questions, feel free to call in to the conference call number. You should see it on the live chat. It's 213-603-9096. Again, that number to call in is 213-603-9096. It's lucky. I put and the PIN number is 94809-305. Right? So again, that's is on the screen. If you got any questions, call in. Brother Naquam.
Brother Right.
Right? Giving all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shema Kwam Yashala. Shalom.